here to get Harry Potter. I, whose name is never to be spoken, am here to get Mr. Harry Potter. My Dementors will help me get him. And if I see him, one of us has to die. 'Cause it is him or it is I, Voldemort.
Get contact lenses. My brows are shaved off anyway, so I don't care about them. Now, what I want to do is, first of all, and I thought about using a foundation, but that's not going to be sticky enough to paint on or to work with. So I'm going to paint or stipple on with a sponge or anything. My face, my ears, my neck, everything white with paint. And I even might use my white cream paint, because that sticks on better for the shading that I'm going to do after. Now, of course, you see already who I am going to be. Now, first, before I do my nose, I'm going to blow my nose. Because I will not be able to use it for a long time. You already know who I am going to be or what I am going to do. So I am going to try to tape down my own nose. I'm going to try first with a small medical tape. I'm going to take my nose. I'm going to stick it down. That's a bit. Now I'm going to take a big piece. Which really flattens down the surface. And then small tape again. I'm trying to make this all as smooth as possible. From now on, I'll have to start breathing through my mouth. So this will have to be flattened even more. But I'll do it with a big tape. Like I said, I've never tried this before, so I have no idea if it's gonna look a little bit like the one whose name is never said or told or may not be spoken. Okay, that looks great. Although here I have a little tip that is standing up that I would like to have more flat, like so. Okay, that works, that works. I've seen many do this with plastic tape. Now I wouldn't do that. I would just use this, which I am sure that it doesn't give allergies. The only thing I might do is pull off some skin, because it sticks very well. I do have to be able to do this. Ah, it automatically takes a square shape. Oh. I may not laugh with this. So it's gonna be a very serious video, this is because I cannot laugh. I am not allowed to laugh. Or my prosthetic, my fake prosthetic comes loose when I laugh. I can still breathe through this. That's why it's called breathable tape. Okay, that is nice. Now I want to put one piece of the big tape on the sides so that it really stays in place. But this is, if you ask me, perfectly the shape it has to be. A little piece there should cover that split. There, now I'm gonna do my own take on this. I'm not gonna use a picture. I'm gonna imagine how I see Voldemort, or the one whose name can never be spoken. And I can really breathe through my nose. That is a big advantage. So I am now gonna start with a green paint and a sponge. And if it's possible to but maybe I have to use my blow dryer on this so that it is more moist. Now let's see. Use the blow dryer on it. Which helps, but maybe I can better do it with my fingers. Yeah, it works a lot better just with my fingers. So why use material if you have got your own? There, I'm back. My nurse was here, as usual. I get a little interrupted once in a while when my nurse is here, when my husband gets home. But what I want to do is completely make as well my face as the bald cap white to start off, because Voldemort is white, very pale. Now on the cap the green paint doesn't really stick on. I might have to use my water activated paint, I don't know. But I am going to do my entire face just like I am doing now. I'm just applying green paint all over. And I think that it's a bit silly to film that, because it's just going to be all of this to my décolletage, to where my collar comes. And he also wears something that is shut till there. And I will be wearing my cloak over that. And I will maybe take a broomstick with me, but I was going to use, and I don't know if this is the right shape, I don't think it is, but I will use this magical wand that I have from the Harry Potter series, which is a blending brush. But I will use this as my magical wand and maybe hold a broomstick or something, I don't know yet. But what I'm now gonna do is make my base white. So I will just start filming again when I'm gonna start all the shading work and transform into Voldemort. So I will be back once I'm all white. Now, one of the most important things in this look is that it's all as invisibly taped down as possible. But as you know, I don't have prosthetics. I'm just doing this with what I've got. Now, the paint on the head, I switched just to water activated paint, so the principle was the same. And then I went over, throwing everything on the floor again, with just white powder. But as you see, I'm more than hitting pan. It's almost completely empty, so I just took white powder and set all the paint. While that was setting, as you see, somewhere here and there the tape comes loose. Because it's still a bit wet from the paint. Now what you can do is take your blow dryer on a very low setting and not high on level, and try to blow dry everything nice and flat. Now you're gonna say, why are you doing that? Well, the stickiness of the tape has lost its powers because it's wet from the paint. So now that I dry it again, it's gonna be better to stick it down again so that it'll stay nice in place. So now this is all done, the base. What I'm gonna start with is take a pinkish, maybe even a blush, and I'm gonna look for a pale pink that is not shimmery, so it's gonna be more like that. And with that I'm gonna start shading on my eyelids, so around the eyes. Not a Barbie pink, it's gonna be more of a dirty pink. And I'm gonna put that around the eyes, as close to the lash line as possible, to make them look sunken in and blood flown. I can also take this more pinkish one with a very bright mixed and run that through my lashes when my eyes are closed. And when I've done that, I'm gonna take a brick tone like color like this, and I'm gonna add that to the same spot but even closer to the lash, and then I'm gonna blend around and under, so more the brick tone, but not in a neat way, really wildly, and yeah, you know, I gotta look dead thick and not pretty at all. So I'm dabbing it. Instead of rubbing, I am putting more dots like motions on, and then I'm gonna take, and I'm keep on using the same brush, to a brown, not the darkest or the lightest, which I'm gonna pop high in the crease. And connect to the upper lash line, to my eyelid. I look like a zombie, 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 oh, 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 oh. Oh God, I already look like it. Ew. Now I'm taking this dark brown and I'm doing the same but a little bit higher, because my eyes have got to look very, very deep, set and sunken in. So the darker I make the eye socket, the more my eyes are gonna look sunken in, and this is gonna come forward. So I will have to check a picture to see how it works here, because I think it runs through with Voldemort. But I'm making that really, really dark brown. If I do that, I already look like the one whose name is never to be spoken. Now to make the brow bones stick out more, the more you put the shadow underneath them, the more they will come out. And I am not using any prosthetics, so I will have to do that all with shading. So I'm now gonna take my phone, check a picture of Voldemort. Let's Google Voldemort. Okay, so in this picture I can see that this is going down very dark and this comes up. He has these two, and the brush should be a little flatter, but I'll squish it. That comes up, this comes down, and his eyes here, that is square almost, and this has got to be, as well as the inner corners, and that has got to be almost completely black. So I'm gonna accentuate that with black eyeshadow. Now with the same brush, because I don't want to transfer over too many different colors, I am gonna make the inner corner of my eye black. And if it's for pictures and for special effects, you can really overdo the shading. Now you can always overdo your shading for Halloween. You see, that deepens a lot of that eye socket. So I am making a line that follows my crease. Not too thick, not too thin. That really comes there. Like so. Dab it, dab it up. And in the eye socket. And my upper eyelid can be feathered more with black than with the red. So I am darkening up my upper eyelid. Above, but very, very softly, there's a shadow. You can blend it out with your fingers, but don't use pressure or you will push away your paint. That will increase the being thick of the brow bone, which it's not, but I don't have prosthetics or special effect stuff. Now these wrinkles that I also have myself, I am also making deeper and towards the nose, but I am going to take a thinner brush than that, which is a very flat one. And with black eyeshadow I'm gonna start to make this line more defined and towards the nose. And I'm following my own natural lines. I am not painting on any new unnatural shapes. Because there is nothing natural about Voldemort, but as you know, I always want to try to look as much as I can like the character that I want to show. And here he has got two nostrils. Very fine. Just lines actually. which have a very fine following line upwards, just a shadow. And here he has a shadow too. Therefore I faded a little with my fingers. And then this. And just a little curve there. We also have to shade the shape of an Adam's apple. And as you saw, I drew it on with the sharpness of the brush, and now I'm taking the wrong side of the brush to feather it out. So there's my Adam's apple. And what I gotta do now, because the shading is almost completed, the only shadows he has is here, where my own shades are due. So I'm gonna take a small fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna take a tiny bit of the black, but just a touch, and I'm gonna shade under the chin. You see, I tapped twice, and that's already too much. Now, my face is not as round as his, so I will have to shade. And I'm gonna take a, for instance, Hoola bronzer, which may be too light, but I'm gonna try anyways to make a shadow here, to take away my own square jaw. And to give the illusion that I'm more rounded off here, that I'm oval. And start from my ear to my chin. And he has his shadow here, just as if he would have his cheekbones. But what we do is we go like that, but with him it comes right down to his wide chin. And I am starting with Hoola bronzer, but I will darken that up. So it comes from the temples. And comes down. And we shade it down instead of up too. Now I'm taking black again, and also not too much. I tab off the excess and I'm gonna add black to that. And what you can do is take your black and just wipe off the excess on your hand. And he doesn't have that, but to make my face look more like his, I'm making a little indentation here. And now this I'm gonna blend out with a little bit of Hoola bronzer. There. Now it all comes to detail. And the details are gonna be very fine, and I want to do them actually with a dark blue eyeshadow. Because it's all veins, I want to go to a dark blue, because veins are blood, and blood shines through your skin in blue, as you can see. My veins are bluish, and he has got some red ones too. That looks like a nice vein color. That is the perfect color on the cap. But it is very dark on the face, so I gotta be careful. I'm gonna switch to a very fine detail brush, and I'm gonna make blood vessels everywhere. And he really has them everywhere. I love this. I think that'll be enough for the blue ones, maybe some more down the neck here. As you see, I'm just doing this very wildly and very unthought of where they naturally would run or something. I'm just drawing on some. And what he also has is some of them in red. So I'm taking the blush from this palette and I'm gonna have to take the flat brush for that on the bald cap, because they otherwise don't give a lot of pigment, but they do on the skin, so don't forget to switch brushes once you come to your own face. So now on the face I take the small brush again. And he specifically has got red ones running from his lips. And his lips are actually just on the inside. Reddish, dabbed. Wildly, with even some black on the inside. Almost like the eyes. Now with a tiny bit of lash glue, gently go through that edge everywhere where it's loose. Specifically those around the mouth area, because that's going to be the most visible. And then I will gently roll and make it stick. The rest I'm gonna leave like it is, because I like it. The only thing I want to do is take a little very fine brush and black eyeshadow and accentuate his nostrils. That is much better. So that you can see that there are nostrils and they're very close together. So I think I am enough Voldemort.
I really want to thank you all for watching this tutorial with me. If you find Harry Potter, you will send him to me. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell to see whenever I upload another video. And give this video a thumbs up, or I will find you together with Harry Potter. And I will kill you too, if none of my Dementors already do. So make sure that you subscribe and like, and put on that notification bell. And I really want to thank you all for watching this tutorial with me. So, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!